Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, we are back with another episode, guys. Chapter 29. Let's get into it. All right, remember chapter 29? I'm sorry, chapter 28. Isaac's on his journey to find his wife. He had a dream about the Lord, ladder, and angels. The angels of God were coming back and forth, and the Lord is at the top. And he committed himself to the Lord, saying, "You are my God." Um, and so yeah, here we are, chapter 29. Let's get it. So Jacob meets Rachel. Remember, he's on this journey to find his wife. He was instructed by his father, Isaac, to go to Laban, that is your mother's brother, and find a wife from him. So meaning as in one of his daughters. So then Jacob went on his journey and came to the land of the people of the east, meaning as in like Haran. As he looked, he saw a well in the field. And look, and lo, and like it's like, and behold, 3 flocks of sheep lying beside it. So there were 3 flocks of sheep by the well. For out of that well the flocks were watered. Makes sense, right? So the stone on the well's mouth was large, meaning as in like the stone of like the water that comes out of it was big. And when all the flocks were gathered there, the shepherds would roll the stone from the mouth of the well and water the sheep and put the stone back in its place upon the mouth of the well, meaning as in just like they pick up the stone, the water comes out to the sheep can drink, and then they close it whenever they don't, the sheep are done drinking. And Jacob said to them, "My brothers, where do you come from?" And they said, "We are from Haran." He said to them, "Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor?" Or Nahor? They said, "We know him." He said to them, so Jacob said to them, "Is it well with them?" I mean, he was like, "Hey, are they good? Are they still alive? Where are they at? How's everything with them?" And they said to him, "It is well. And see, look, Rachel, his daughter, is coming with the sheep." He said, "Behold." And so the guy that was just saying, like, "Look, Rachel's right there. That's actually one of his daughters." He said, "Behold, it is still high day," meaning as like the sun is at its peak. It is not time for the animals to be gathered together. So meaning it's probably too hot for them. It's like, water the sheep and go pasture them. But they said, "We cannot until all the flocks are gathered together and the stone is rolled from the mouth of the well. Then we water the sheep." So they're just saying, like, look, we have to wait for all the sheep to come in, then we can give them water. While he was still speaking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. Now when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, Jacob went up and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. So he saw that, hey, look, that's my mom's brother's daughter, um, and he saw her and he instantly loved her. He liked her, and so he lifted up the stone so her sheep can be watered. And then it says, then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept aloud. So he kissed her and he was like, "Oh my God," like he probably kissed her and was like, "Ah," you know. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman, meaning as in like he kissed her, uh, and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm your father's blood," um, and that he was Rebecca's son. And so she ran. So after all this happened, right? This guy she never met watered her, pick up the stone so her sheep can be fed, watered, drink water. He kissed me, and then he's like, "Oh my God," and then he told me that he's my blood. So she just ran, right? And she went to go tell her father. And her father's Laban. Um, so when Laban heard the tidings, um, meaning as in like the news, right? He heard the news of Jacob, his sister's son. He ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. Uh, and Jacob told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, "Surely you are my bone of my flesh and my flesh." And he stayed with him a month. So many guys are like, look, so Laban, his daughter came back to him. It's like, "Dad, this is what happened to me. This guy did this. And he told me this." So he ran to go meet him, gave him a kiss. And when he brought him back to the house, right? And they were at the house and they were probably chilling. Jacob told Laban everything that he knows, right? And so then Laban responded to him saying, "Surely you like," meaning as in, okay, after you told me all this stuff, you have to be of my bone and my flesh. Uh, and he stayed with him for a month. And then it says, then Laban said to Jacob, "Because you are my kinsman, because you are my blood, should you therefore serve me for nothing?" Meaning as in, like, you're doing this work for me, you're helping me out. Come on, you got to be able to get something in reward. Tell me, what shall your wages be? He's pretty much saying, like, I'll pay you money. You're helping me out. Let me pay you some money. Now, Laban had 2 daughters, right? The name of the older was Leah. Let me put my notes up here. Put a little bit of notes. So Laban, I think I can see that. Laban, right? Laban is the brother of Rebecca. And Rebecca is Jacob's mom. So he had 2 daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. That's the one who Jacob met. Leah's eyes were weak. So now they're describing his daughters. That Leah's eyes were weak, which I don't know why, but I don't know why I find that funny. Like, telling somebody that's like not as attractive, or maybe not attractive at all, or somebody who you don't like, just saying like your eyes are weak. Like, I don't know, that's just funny to me. Like, I could imagine a girl saying, "Do you think I'm pretty?" And he's just like, "I don't know, your eyes are just weak." Like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's just funny to me. But pretty much meaning as like he didn't really like find her attractive. But Rachel was beautiful and lovely. Jacob loved Rachel, right? And he said, "I will serve you 7." So remember, Laban, he was staying with him for a month. He was working with him, helping him out. Laban's like, "Come on, dude, you're helping me out. Get something in return. How much? What are your wages? Tell me how much you want me to give you." And he said, "I will serve you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel." Laban said, "It is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to any other man. So stay with me." So he accepted it. So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. So this man loved this girl so much. He worked 7 years under her dad, just for her. Think about that. Think about that. What guy's doing that today? You know, what guy's gonna go out there and work for another man for 7 years, right? And not become pretty much his own man yet for a woman. It's true love right there, guys. Um, and it says right here, and he loved her so much, and he enjoyed it so much because he knew that at the end of the day he's gonna be able to go home with her, go back to his country with her. That they seemed to him but a few days, so it happened so fast because he knew, like, look, I'm doing this and I'm hanging out with her every day. I get to see her. She's not my wife, but I get to see her. I get to hang out with her, and I know that one day she's gonna be my wife. So it happened so fast. It was just a few days because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife that I may go to her, for the time is completed." So after the 7 years, Jacob told Laban, "Look, all right, bro, I did my 7 years. Let me go with my wife. I fulfilled my time for 7 years like you wanted me to. It's time to pay up the bargain." So Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast, like a marriage feast. You know, kind of like how we do it with the wedding. You have a big feast and a big party celebration. But in the evening, he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her, meaning as in like, look, okay, in the evening when it's time to go to bed, he brought his daughter Leah, his oldest daughter, and it says he went into her. So meaning, I think it if we wants to read this chapter, at first I thought he like had sex with her, but it pretty much means like they just slept in the same bed together. But he didn't know it was Leah yet, so we'll get into that. So Laban gave his maid Ziplah to his daughter Leah to be her maid. So he probably told her, look, you're gonna go with this man. I'm giving you one of my maid Ziplah. I think I have it right here. Yeah, Leah maid Ziplah. I just wrote it down for notes. You never know, I might need to come back for the name. But in the morning, behold, it was Leah, and Jacob said to Laban. So he woke up in the morning. He was like, "Oh my God!" He woke up next to this woman. He's like, "You're not Rachel. You're Leah. You're her older sister. I didn't work 7 years for you. I worked 7 years for your sister." So Jacob went to Laban, to their dad, and they said, "What is this you have done to me? Did I not serve with you for Rachel? Why then have you deceived me? Why are you lying to me? We had an agreement. You said I told you I want to do it for Rachel. I'm going to work with you for 7 years for Rachel. You give me Leah? What are you doing?" And Laban said, "It is not so done in our country to give the younger before the first." So meaning as in like, look, in our country, when you want to take um, one of our daughters, you have to take the oldest one first, not the youngest. And uh, so he said, look, okay, how about this? We'll compromise. Complete the week of this one. So just work for me one more week, and we will give you the other also, meaning as in like Rachel, the one he wants. In return for serving me another 7 years. And Jacob did so and completed her week, and Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to wife. So look, he's just like, okay, I get it. And I kind of, at first I was like, why did he do this? But I almost kind of feel like maybe he knew that his daughter Leah wasn't that very attractive. He wasn't a very good, maybe not a lot of men wanted to be with her. Maybe, I don't know, for maybe other reasons. Maybe she was just, I don't know, maybe she was just rude or something like that. I don't know. So it was a dad looking out for his older daughter, saying, "Look, I know this man. He's worked for me 7 years. He's a good man. He's gonna take care of her. He's my kinsman. You know, if not him, who else for my daughters, right? For both of my daughters, if not who else? They're gonna be in good hands. Take Leah. Just work for me one more week. I know he loves Rachel so much that he will take Leah, because if that means that he's gonna be able to have Rachel, he'll take Leah. I don't know, but no. So Jacob did so. So he listens. He's like, okay, fine, I agree with you. So Jacob did so, and completed her week. So he worked another week, uh, and then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to wife. And then Laban gave his maid Bilhah to his daughter Rachel, right here, to be her maid. So this guy Laban had money and had wealth. He was out here giving. He had servants working for him, and I'm sure probably Jacob being with him and helping him helped him out a lot. So then it says, so Jacob went into Rachel also, meaning it's like Rachel became his wife, and he loved Rachel more than Leah, and served Laban for another 7 years. So, he served, he served 7 years for Leah, and then another 7 years for Laban. I mean, for another years for Rachel. That's how much he loved her. Okay. And it says, when the Lord saw that Leah was hated. So I guess in this time, he kind of never really wanted to be with Leah, but he only accepted Leah because that means he could get Rachel. And Jacob didn't want to marry Leah, and Jacob never loved Leah like he did Rachel, and it shows. And he kind of doesn't really, you could say, love Leah and respect Leah and admire Leah the same as Rachel. And God knew this, right? So it says, when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, so it's even saying here as much as that he hated her, meaning as like he probably just didn't really like her a lot. But the Lord saw that Leah was hated, so the Lord said, "Look, Jacob, you have 2 wives, but you don't." So the Lord said, "Look, you don't really admire this one as much. I can see it. I can see it in your actions, the way you talk to her. You don't love her as much. This is not right. You're supposed to take care of both of them." So the Lord opened up her womb, but not Rachel. Rachel was barren. So whenever Leah and Jacob did the thing, Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben. I have it right here. Leah's children, right here. So the first one was called Reuben. Okay. For she said, because the Lord. So Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben. And she said, because the Lord has looked upon my affliction. So she's saying, because the Lord looked upon my suffering, because my husband does not love me. Surely now my husband will love me, because I gave him a son. And actually, funny enough, Reuben in Hebrew means behold a son. Like Reuben in Hebrew means behold a son, because Leah's like, look, behold a son. Now my husband has to love me. And so that's what she said. The Lord has looked upon my suffering, my sadness. Surely now my husband will love me, because I bore him a son. But she conceived again and bore a son, and said, because the Lord has heard that I am hated. So now the first one was the Lord saw. The second one, the Lord's hearing that I'm hated. He has given me this son also. So she called his name Simeon. And Simeon means God has heard in Hebrew. That's the meaning of Simeon. And then again she conceived and bore a son, and said, now this time my husband will be joined to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore his name was called Levi, and Levi in Hebrew means joined. So the first one, it was, behold a son, he has to love me. Or, well, no, sorry. The first one, it was the Lord seeing that my suffering, he gave me a son. The second one, he heard my suffering. So he named him Simeon, meaning, and God has heard. The third one, Levi, meaning in Hebrew meaning joined, because it's like, look, now I have three children with Jacob, 3 sons. He has to like me now, right? He has to love me. But and then she conceived again, right? And bore a son, and said, this time I will praise the Lord. That was funny. When I read this, I was laughing. Like the first 3 times, she was like, okay, this is to help me, right? This is the Lord's doing me a favor to make my husband love me and admire me. And then the fourth one, right? She conceived again, and she said, this time I will praise the Lord. She's like, no more about him loving me or caring for me. This time, like, no more me calling the names of my sons after, like, the Lord. After Reuben. You know, this time I'm gonna praise the Lord. So, therefore, she called his name Judah. Then she stopped bearing, so she stopped having kids. And Judah in Hebrew means let God be praised. Um, so that's it for the chapter. Chapter 29. Hope I didn't rush it too fast. I hope I explained everything good. But I mean, this is pretty much just like, look, I guess I'll summarize this chapter is that he worked 7 years under Laban. He kind of deceived him a little bit. He made him pick Leah, and he did another 7 years to work for Rachel. So 14 years total. And then the Lord saw that Leah wasn't respected, wasn't loved the same as Rachel. So he closed Rachel's womb, but opened Leah's, and she had 4 sons. And so Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Reuben, that name means behold, son, meaning as in like, look, he's gonna have to love me now. My husband will have to love me because I gave him a son. The second one is God has heard my affliction, and he has given me a son. The third one is Levi. The second one's Simeon. Yeah, the third one's Levi. And in Hebrew, that means joined, meaning as like, look, I had 3 sons. He has to love me now. And the fourth one, she's like, screw all that shit. His name's Judah, because we're going to be praising God for this one. And so, yeah, I mean, some, I guess it's important to know that, Jacob didn't really, have the same, and that's understandable, right? Because he never wanted Leah. He wanted Rachel. He was kind of forced to take it, because if he wanted Rachel, like his dad said, if you want Rachel, you got to work another 7 years. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for chapter 29. Hope you guys like and enjoy it, and I will see you for chapter 30, guys. Big 3-0.